Hello and welcome. Today we're doing a review on a 2011 Mercedes-Benz C300 4matic. I just picked up this car extremely cheap, $1,400 a couple days ago from a good friend of mine, and he bought it brand new back in 2011 in Anchorage, Alaska. So we're going to review of this car, we'll drive, kind of show the quirks and features and some of the benefits and the downsides of this vehicle. And this is a 2011, so it's the last year of the facelift body, and this is a classic. So the classic has this grille instead of the AMG one, or the but does not have a hood emblem. Also has the older style bumpers, pre-facelift, they have this style headlights, but I do have the better AMG mirrors. The other ones, the turn signal goes from here up and it looks really hideous. Also, I have the dual exhaust and my taillights are different. So on the facelift ones, they are LEDs, and then the design is a little different. The major changes happened also on the interior. So the entire interior is different. You have one screen, well, like this car does have a screen, I'll show you in a second. It is different. Also, this whole display is different, and I believe these were as well. I was just in an AMG one yesterday. So today we'll be getting into all the bits of the interior. Usually we do that first, and they're different today. So fog lights are over here, automatic. Lights, and I cannot talk today. Here are your door controls, but on this car, if you had the manual seats, which a lot of them did, you had them right here, obviously, but because this has power passenger seat, they're on that side on the bottom of the seat. Kind of would be in a Jaguar or with lumbar controls in this car. Door grabber is right there, but I don't like the position because, at least my hand, it's kind of to reach back, but it's there. 3 power settings, or memory settings. Window switches are right here, mirror controls, some vents, cruise control, which is in a lot better place than the 203 that this replaced. And then you have your steering wheel controls for the radio and also for the menus. Parking brake right here, like in most Mercedes, and your power steering wheel adjustment is right there. This car replaced the w204 Mercedes, and it is a very noticeable difference. This car feels 10 years newer, we'll just say, especially in material quality. Now, I do agree that this car has its downsides, especially when you consider some of the things like this. This should not be plastic. I'm just saying that right now. Also, this screen seems like it's gonna break. I just turned it off. I meant to press mute. I'll turn that back on. There we go. So yeah, the screen, I don't think it's gonna last very long. It looks like a very there's a reason they replaced, this is all I'm gonna say, with the one design that kind of the 212s where it goes along here and the screen stays in place. You have climate control right here. It's really nice, but it doesn't get super cold. I mean, even with this car just had an AC service from at Mercedes, and it still, unless you're at max setting for fan, does not feel cold, and it's kind of annoying when it's at max setting. You have a ashtray right here. This is your power sunshade in the back, and 2 heated seats, one on that side, one on this side. You could get cooled seats in these, but this one doesn't have it. I believe one of these would be for a headrest dropper, and I'm surprised this car doesn't have it. You have your sunroof and all the controls right here. These lights are actually super bright too. You can't really see it because we're in the middle of the day, but they are nice. Trunk release is right here. Engine release is, let's see, where is it? It's in this, right there in this car. I'll pop the hood in a second to kind of show you that. Glove box is over here with the owner's manual and also a 12-volt outlet. Your little net right here, you can kind of use it for, I usually put the owner's manual in there, but I could finally fit it in there, so. Right here you have your controls for the screen. I don't really like this system, to be honest. I wish it was a touch screen, but I've gotten used to it. So, you know, you have navigation, you have audio, which I have my Bluetooth. I have my Bluetooth in there, so that's why that is like the way it is. You also have an MP3 insert right here, CD player right here, and Bluetooth telephone, which is very nice for this car, but it does not have Bluetooth audio, so I have to use one of these. The gear selector I really prefer to the what Mercedes later put in these cars, which is a column shift that goes right here. This feels better. I just like the way it feels when you put it in drive and put it back in park, reverse, all that kind of stuff. Center console's right here with 2 doubloons in it, 2 cup holders. In the back, you have your own climate control, as well as your lumbar support is right here on this seat. Now let's check out the trunk. And just so you're aware, this car is powered by a 3-liter V6, producing I think 200 and I'm gonna say 38 horsepower, which is 3 more horsepower than the engine this was replaced, which was the, oh, I guess I didn't really replace it, but substitute for it, the E320 and C320. Fuse box right there. You have some more storage right here, spare battery. This is where your releases are, and it's a good sized trunk. I have a tire in there, and I have a lot more space, as well as a battery for my truck. And then with this Mercedes, you pull right here, and it will close. Back seat is pretty nice. It's not the largest, but it's a lot more space than the outgoing 203 had, as well as you have center console with flip-out cup holders and a little bit of space. Not much, but no one will use the back seat in a C-Class in America anyway. You also have rear lighting. And with this car, at least with the 203, it's a lot more quiet. It feels so much more modern and well built, but it is not without its complaints. I hate this, it's gonna break. I know it's gonna break. The plastic also just feels worse in this car. There's some things that the 203 had that was a lot better, and there's some things that aren't. I think this thing feels so much stronger as a vehicle than the 203, but the plastic got worse. This was kind of, I think, Mercedes' worst era for plastic, and you can really tell. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. There we go, 0.6. And yeah, this car got really cheap, but honestly, it doesn't have many things wrong with it. 129,000 miles in this car. And you have tachometer, speedo, and then you have your temperature gauge and fuel. And also you can go to these little menus and see your consumption, how fast you're going, the usual stuff from Mercedes. That looks broken. So I'm gonna look it out on the road and take this thing for a little spin. I think handling is great, but unless you really live in a 4-wheel drive climate, and I only bought this car so I could go up north this winter because I don't have anything else that has 4-wheel drive. All of my cars have 2-wheel drive, and most of them are V8s or V12s. Let's see, we should be out in traffic here in a second. And yeah, 4-wheel drive at start, at launch, it feels really fast. But, not really fast. It feels just really smooth because you've all 4 wheels turning. But when you get higher up in the range, it kind of falls on its face. This thing got beat by my 211, which has 2 less horsepower, is 5 years older, more miles, and I think weighs more. But the drag on all 4 wheels is insane when you get higher up there in the miles. And that's why personally I would go with, unless you live in like New York or Colorado, I would buy just the normal C300 or C350. But it's pretty peppy. And it seemed pretty reliable. This thing has, I was kind of a fucking idiot, but whatever. Did not mean to cut up during one of these reviews again, but it happens. Oh shit, whatever. I'll go straight. But yeah, these things, they seem to be very competent cars. The Mercedes built, I think, 2.5 million of these cars, which was the most produced Mercedes, I think, to this date. At least sedan was. I bet the Sprinters and the G-Wagons might have more, but they're very capable vehicles. They're very competent, and they still look modern. This is I think now, let's see, 3-generation-old C-Class, but you still see them everywhere. You usually cannot go to a parking lot without seeing at least one 204. That was a straight pipe 4 Explorer ST, quite the interesting vehicle. Let's take it out here on I think also this car has a little too much engine noise, but again, it's a C-Class. It's not an S-Class. and I daily drive an S-Class. I really do notice a difference. But it is a very competent, and it feels like a very, man, people cannot drive at all today. Who knows who he was honking at? But, yeah, my bad, I'm just shocked how bad Texas drivers are once again. But yeah, I mean, it's a very nice car. I would definitely recommend this car, especially for a first Mercedes. They're pretty reliable, they're pretty stout, and it's a great first Mercedes. They're, you know, you don't want to go into Mercedes buying an Aromatic 211 or a ABC 220 or CL or an SL. These, or a 203 or a 210 or a non-Aromatic 211 is exactly where I would start. And this way you can kind of see if you like the brand or not, because this is a great introduction to them. And they're getting cheap. I mean, I got this thing for $1,500 or $1,400. And while yes, usually cost $3,000 to $5,000, it's still not a bad deal for a car that originally was probably about $45,000. In today's money, that's probably closer to $60,000. And I mean, they're great. And again, I would highly recommend, because you know, I've complained about it to all my friends. 23.4 mpg, and yes, I do kind of drive this car hard, but at the same time, that's what my V12 S-Class gets. And that thing has double the horsepower, triple the pound-feet of torque, weighs a good 1,000 pounds more, and you know, it's an S-Class. This is a C-Class, and it's getting that kind of mpg. And I know it's because that's four-wheel drive, and that kind of all four wheels are turning, or not obviously all turning, but they're all powered, and that's what's killing the mpg. But still, it is not fun, to say the least. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed this. I would definitely recommend this car, especially for the price, if you can get it really cheap like I did, but don't get a ragged out one. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this car. Hopefully you all enjoyed watching, and I'll talk to you all guys later. Peace out.